Both Melina and Ming from GoLocal. GoLocal is a two-sided mobile platform that connects travelers with trusted locals based on interests and personalities, enabling authentic, customizable, peer-to-peer experiences. And your laptop is just going to magically work here. Prefer to hold mic or?
Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah? Is this loud enough, or do you want me to hold it closer?
No, I think that'll be fine.
Okay.
Pick up. Take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Ming, that's Melina, we're with GoLocal. Research shows travelers go to 38 sites before booking a trip. They spend time, money, and their precious vacation days on a vacation. They want to make sure that their expectation is met. Unfortunately, between big box sites list popular destinations and paid placements dominate search results. It's hard to trust recommendations. Fortunately, we have a solution. GoLocal, connecting locals to travelers to ensure every wanderluster has the experience they're looking for. GoLocal is an app-based platform that connects locals to travelers. We envision the platform will serve as a one-stop shop that allows our traveler to book flights with their preferred airlines and search through popular destinations with the movable map, and also, most importantly, connects with locals to put together the itinerary that they are looking for. Unlike conventional sites that host travel forums, GoLocal will be the first platform that provides authentic peer-to-peer travel experience that everyone is looking for. We are unique in two important ways. One is the customization. Two is the algorithm that we're developing to match locals with travelers based on travelers' preference and local interest. Next, I'll have my partner Melina here to talk about customer discovery, market research, and our current status.
Yes. All right, I'll try to stand close to the mic so you guys can hear me. Based on our customer discovery, we decided that we're going to offer 3 different experiences. The first is going to be a 2-hour condensed experience, followed by a 4-hour or a 6-hour experience. Our business model is going to take about 10% in the beginning of the revenue paid by the tourist to the local. As the network matures, we're going to add in additional revenue streams such as advertising and subscription fees. To date, we have completed substantial market research, we have interviewed competitors, we have met with industry experts such as Expedia and potential users. We were finalists in University of Michigan's The Startup, which was a great opportunity for us to validate our business model. Through validating our business model, we believe the most valuable aspect of our platform is going to be our back-end data, such as recording where locals go, how much time tourists spend in each destination, and to aggregate all of the photos that they take along the way. Oops. Now we're in the process of actually building our beta, and we are really proud to announce that starting this Sunday, we are starting to do beta tours at a discounted price. And then lastly, we're taking part in Ann Arbor Sparks Bootcamp. So we're really looking to continue our growth as a business and continue to validate our business ideas. I know Ming and I have told you guys a lot about GoLocal and the app, but I'll tell you guys a little bit about who we are and what we're looking for tonight. Our team is comprised of 4 people, 3 MBA students with backgrounds in marketing, communication, and engineering. And we have recently just added an app developer who is based in Canada. We've collectively lived in 5 different countries and 8 different cities. And we're not only passionate about travel, but we're passionate about connecting global audiences. We're here today to talk to you guys about the app, look for people that would like to go on our beta experience, sign up, see what Detroit's all about, and give us honest feedback on where they think we can improve our app and where we have room to grow.
So we have a sound show there, we're going to pass around, and then we're going to open the Q&A.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Q&A time.
Oh, here.
Oh, I've got 2.
Oh.
So you hold on to one. I just got a question. Oliver. Take it off.
I think this is a great idea. My son lives in Washington, D.C. You get all these friends from everywhere, and every time you go somewhere, he's like traveling with a friend who's from Turkey, who's from Slovenia. Like, the wife and I are like, we would really love to be able to do that. We want to travel someplace, but I don't know anyone anywhere. How do you convince me that you've got the right people? And how do you find these people so I can be comfortable to know that they really are locals and not just like tour guides that you hire?
That's a good question. So first I want to make sure that you're not connecting with people with criminal record. So we'll do a similar thing that Airbnb does. You know, you swipe in your license and we'll do a quick background check. And also want to make sure that the locals have some knowledge that that's enough to show you guys what the what the area is about. So in the beginning we'll do like a interview, and then we'll personally meet every one of them, make sure that they know what they're talking about. And then, we'll just put it on the platform and hopefully bring you guys, show you guys the local and show you guys a good time.
And just to add to that, part of what makes us unique is that we're going to be using a matching algorithm where you're going to input your interests and you're going to be matched with a local that has similar interests. We're not going to put a family that likes to go to the beach with someone that likes to go to the bars and is going to do a brewery tour. So you'll be matched with someone that has similar interests, and you actually get to decide. So we'll give you a list of the locals and what their interests are and the types of experiences that they offer. And then from there you can actually start talking to the locals and figuring out who you like, and then you can book which local you prefer.
Question back there, I'll just repeat it after you say.
What does the monetization model look like for you guys? Is it similar to Uber? Is it where the user pays a certain amount and then the tour guide takes a cut, similar to like a driver for Uber?
Yeah, that's a good question. So to start, we'll take a 10% cut out of the fee paid by the traveler to local. And as our network matures, we gain brand image, we'll start charging locals membership fee. And later on, when we aggregate enough data on our back-end database, we'll start charging big companies who we partner up with for the data that they want to use to further grow their business.
Scott.
How do you prime the pump? How do you get people to be travel guides, and how do you get enough people? I mean, you can match them, but if there's only a few people, you're going to be matched probably with the same people every time. How do you build up that community?
Yeah, that's another great question. So essentially, our business is a two-sided network, and then like everyone might know that you have to start with one side, and we want to start with locals first, right? Because they have vested interest in their local community to show and be ambassador of their local community, so they're most likely to be willing to volunteer for our service first. So we'll build up that side using that quality, and then after that, as we have more content on our network, we'll start advertising to get travelers to get on our platform and then pay for the service.
I like that you guys mentioned Airbnb, because Airbnb almost inadvertently does something very similar to what you guys are doing, right? I mean, like technically when I go stay with somebody in another city, oftentimes they're very nice and they also provide recommendations for restaurants, places to see, stuff like that. So how do you, I guess, compete against Airbnb, right? Because if I'm going to be going to another city or country, I might actually be using Airbnb to stay at somebody's place who might already be kind of my tour guide, but it's already included in the Airbnb price.
Yeah, that's another good question. So Airbnb, I'm assuming that you're talking about their new travel service, right? That they provide.
Oh, I was just talking about staying.
In general, okay. So ours will be a little different, where like I was saying before, the customization aspect of it, where we're gonna match the interests of the traveler with locals. So you have a partner that works with you to build up the itinerary, and then in the same time, this partner will go with you on trips, and there will be a social aspect of it, right? So I spend a lot of time I'm in class, I come here during the weekend for an MBA class, and I have to find a place to stay. And a lot of times, I don't even meet the Airbnb host because I'm so busy. And you just don't have the social aspect of it. With our platform, you have the social aspect. You get to meet a new person, learn the local culture with this new person, and you get a lot out of it from just a typical travel experience.
Are you looking for local individual tour guides in Detroit to help? Because I have a few in our community that we connect to.
Yeah, we would love to connect and try to find somebody out on that.
I have about 2 or 3 people.
We need to connect after this is over.
Are you charging by the hour or by activity?
So in the very beginning, we'll be offering a 2 for 6 hour package, and then we'll be charging by the hour.
And like for a Detroit tour, what what price point am I looking at?
So right now in our beta period, they are discounted. We're only offering 2-hour experiences for $25 flat rate. This is just while we're in this beta period, probably through summer. Based on our customer discovery and our pricing discovery, we found that the majority of people that we surveyed would pay about $100 an hour. And so basically you're making your itinerary with your host or with your local. So they're not going to take you on a tour that you don't want to be on, and it's going to be a very active tour. It's not going to be something where you're spending a half an hour in the car and you're like, I'm paying for this half an hour. So it'll be within a small vicinity in an active tour that you decide with your local.
About all the time
Okay,
that we
cool.
have. So let's give them a round of applause.
We're sitting right here, so as they make their way around the room, you guys can just leave the sign-up sheets there.
All right, so moving right along, I'd like to welcome Kyle Mulka, longtime A2NewTech attendee. He's going to pitch a startup that he's working for called PawnGuru. PawnGuru lets consumers submit items they'd like to sell, pawn, or buy online, where they can get offers from multiple local pawn shops. I'm very interested to hear about this one. Yeah, sure. Yeah, probably better. All right.
All right. Hi, my name is Kyle Mulka. I'm here representing PawnGuru. So a little bit of information about the pawn industry in the US. There's about 12,000 pawn shops. They have about 30 million customers, and they do about $15 billion in revenue. So let me tell you a story. So about 2.5 years ago, our founder, Jonathan Poulter, went around to different pawn shops in the Detroit area to find how much they would pay for items that he brought to them. So he had 3 items. He had an iPad, a laptop, and a diamond ring. So at one pawn shop, he was offered $50 for the iPad. And at another pawn shop, for the same iPad, he was offered $150. For the laptop, it was $200 at one pawn shop and $400 at another pawn shop. For the diamond ring, it was even a bigger difference. One shop offered $65 and another offered over $1,000. So there's a huge gap in pawn shop prices. And these might vary based on the pawn shop's inventory, their cash on hand, what kind of items they're an expert in, that kind of thing. So that's a problem for consumers. Especially low-income consumers don't have the time or resources to go comparison shop between multiple shops. They have to take a bus or drive or wherever they get to these shops. And shop inventory changes daily. So for shops, consumers are looking online, but in general, pawn shops aren't online. Most pawn shops don't have a website, and even if they do, they're kind of meh. So 80% of consumers will check their smartphone for price information, but individual pawn shops might not be on there with that information. So our solution is PawnGuru.com, which is an online marketplace that connects consumers with local pawn shops. So on the left, you can list your item that you have for sale or that you want to pawn, or you can describe an item that you want to buy. You can get offers from multiple pawn shops in your area. You can chat with those pawn shops to negotiate the best price. And then you can choose which pawn shop you want to visit to complete the transaction. So a little snapshot of where we are today. As of May, we have 1,500 daily customer requests. So every day, 1,500 consumers submit an item. Since we started about 2.5 years ago, we've had about $28 million of cash offers. Those were given to about 300,000 consumers. We have about 2,700 shops signed up. And we get about 300,000 unique organic visitors to our site every month. And most of that traffic is organic. Actually, all of that traffic is organic now. We're not doing any advertising. It's either coming from Google or word of mouth or direct links to our website. Here's our growth of the last 2 years. A lot of SEO in there. We're growing by about 10 to 20% per month. Future plans, we're going to try to expand from the pawn shop regulars to a broader consumer base that wants to buy or sell stuff as an alternative to Craigslist or eBay. And we're also interested in becoming kind of like the bank rate of the unbanked or the low-income consumers to offer them better financial services to fit their needs. 2-year goals, we'd like to have all the US pawn shops signed up. We'd like to do about 10,000 daily active requests, about $1 million a month in revenue. We're still kind of figuring it out, but we've tested subscription for the pawn shops. So the consumers, it's going to be free, but for the pawn shops, it might be a subscription, or it might be a percentage cut of every deal that closes. We also might get referral fees from other financial services. These are potential companies that might be interested in buying us one day. You can kind of see the spread there, different types of businesses. That's all I have. Thank you, and any questions?
Awesome pitch. All right. Fire away. Who's got questions? I'm going to share around the mic around. Start with yourself.
Sure. I'm just curious, what's your background with the pawning industry and how did you become aware of this problem?
Sure. So I'm not a founder of the company, but I was an early employee. The two founders were actually previously in the payday loan space. And at the time, the payday loan space was being basically cut out by the US government. And so they're going back to pawning, which is actually better for consumers, because if they default on the loan, they aren't constantly nagged for interest and penalties along the way. They simply lose their item, as opposed to a payday loan, which might go on their credit report, and it's worse for them. So that's kind of how they started. But our founder, Jonathan, also has experience with other alternative like financing.
So what were some challenges that came up, or signing up different pawn shops as like the B2B side of the business?
Yeah, so I guess the main challenge is trying to reach all of them. We're going after small businesses primarily. I mean, eventually we'll go to the bigger chains, but right now we're going to mom and pop shops, and so just trying to get contact with the owner or the manager can be tricky. So our salesperson literally, dials for dollars. She picks up the phone, she calls, and tries to get them signed up. Generally, when a consumer submits an item, that's when we will actually call shops in that area. So we'll say, hey, do you take this item? If you do, then sign up for our platform. You can see it. You can interact with the customer. We can send you more email when new customers come in. And so yeah, it's been a challenge to try to convince pawn shops to not only go online, but also to give them enough inventory to make it worthwhile for them, kind of in their area.
Yeah, Howard, you showed growth curve, and there was a big pickup around, I think, October 2015. I was wondering if you could say what happened there, and also how you acquire pawn shops. Yeah.
So basically, we started heavily investing in SEO, not money-wise, but time-wise, to try to figure out, okay, well, how do we make our site better, for Google and for other consumers that are coming to it. So we started doing some blogging. We started making pages for individual items. And so actually, if you go to Google today and you type, pawn laptop, pawn iPhone, pawn speaker set, our URL or one of our URLs will show up almost at the top, if not, the first result. So that's been really good for us. We also reached out to various online publications, so that will write about us, and so they'll link back to us, and that will give us some credibility with Google that we're actually a real business, and we're going to get some traffic.
The offers that the pawn shops are making, are these binding in any way, or
No.
Could they lure people over there and then?
So the offers that pawn shops are making on our platform are non-binding. The main reason for that is that the pawn shop owner or the person who's making the offer has to see the item, right? So it could the offer could depend on the quality of the item, like if it has wear and tear or is broken or stuff, or maybe it's not exactly as the consumer described, or maybe maybe they advertise it as an authentic item and it's not actually authentic, that type of thing. So they're not binding.
It could be open to abuse as well. All that.
Yeah. So they have to. The deals are actually closed at the pawn shop, so the pawn shop is to do kind of a final inspection before it closes.
Hey, Kyle, I can't. Makes me think. Do you eventually think this will be all digital, meaning instead of transacting for pawn shops, PawnGuru will be the destination. People ship their products to you and give the money.
That's a potential avenue, but I actually think that we're going to stick to physical. And the reason is because with a physical brick and mortar, you can do the deal the same day. So if somebody really needs the money, they can just drive 20 minutes, 15 minutes to the place and complete it. Whereas with eBay, you have to wait 3 days. With Craigslist, you have to deal with random people in their homes, and who knows what happens there. At least pawn shops have like a physical space, and they're an established business. So we're actually thinking about staying local.
One last question.
How have you found users to be using or exploiting your platform? Maybe separate kind of.
There hasn't really been much abuse, honestly. Like, we don't see like many junk submissions. Sometimes pawn shops kind of lowball, but like, consumers see that and they're like, well, I'll just go to the other place, like if they get multiple offers. So we haven't really seen that yet.
All right, well, thanks so much, Kyle. I know other people had questions. Everyone rolls around here afterward, or we'll probably be over at Pete's house afterward, so find Kyle, guy in the blue shirt. All right, next up, pleased to welcome our Detroit shout out, Detroit startup of the evening, the Cellular EMT. So here's Dwain and Melanie Watkins. They're going to tell us about Cellular EMT is a on-demand smart device repair solution that repairs phones on-site, at your home, or office.
Well, thank you, Brian. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for seeing us. I'm Melanie.
And I'm Dwain.
We are the founders of Cellular EMT, which is the first on-demand mobile repair solution. I want to survey the room. Anyone with a cell phone or tablet, can you raise your hand? All right, that's what I'm expecting. Keep your hand up if you've ever encountered a cracked screen, a water-damaged device, a battery that wouldn't charge anymore, right? That's a lot of people, isn't it? So I have a scenario for you. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. You're at home enjoying relaxing time with your family. We all work hard. We deserve it, right? On that day, the unthinkable happens. You drop your phone, you crack your screen, you shatter it. You can't even use your phone anymore. Now, at that point, what would you prefer doing? Would you rather getting in your car, driving around town, looking for a place to fix your phone, or would you prefer call one of us on our amazing web app for us to come right to you, to your home, meet you at your door with one of our mobile repair units and fix your device quickly and efficiently? That's what Cellular EMT is all about. We are the truly on-demand mobile repair solution for all your mobile devices.
All right, so Cellular EMT started, we opened a brick and mortar shop on the east side of Detroit, and we were looking for ways to grow. We opened a second store after the first one had some great success, and it didn't work out. So we wanted to figure out a great way to reach more customers without spending the startup money of opening stores and them failing. So we came up with an on-demand mobile app. There are some other apps that come out to you and do the repairs, but nothing that was on demand. You had to set up an appointment and wait for approval, and that wasn't a great experience.
They'll come out, they'll fix the phone sometimes on the side of the picnic table or on their cars, so it's not as good and not as
So customers believe that their smart devices are truly their most valuable asset. So they're not willing to give them up for a lot of time. So when surveying our customers, we found that 8 out of 10 actually didn't care about price. They wanted to know how quickly they could get their device back. So we can win at a higher price, getting their devices back quickly, keeping parts in stock and everything else, offering a great experience versus a cheaper price. So our solution, we developed a web app. So it's as easy as click, our tech to the rescue, and a super quick turnaround. We're looking at 1 hour in most areas. Right now we're running our beta in Detroit, so we're located downtown Detroit. So we hit Macomb, Oakland, Wayne County right now, and we're hoping to move out to Ann Arbor very shortly. So our market validation, we're looking at a $4 billion industry for cell phone repair currently. That's where we're at, $4 billion. And 5% market growth forecast. So we're looking huge market growth, and this would come, we're at 98% saturation. Most people have smart devices, but people are adding second and third devices, tablets, second phones for work, such as that, and they're almost all of them have glass screens that are breakable. So market size. And 15% of all iPhones we found have cracked screens. So there's about 200 people, in the room. 30 of them have a cracked screen. So here's just a couple shots of our web app. Super easy to use. Friend from Ann Arbor actually built it. He's at PawnGuru. So if anyone's familiar, so the request is really simple. You just choose what device you have. Just put it in there. Choose what you think's wrong with it. Payment. We come through with a request. What I really love is the fact that you're notified throughout the process. So when the tech accepts the job, you actually get a text message or email. When the tech is on the way, you get another message that lets them know exactly how far you are. So it's like that kind of Uber feel where you're always getting updated about your service. So business model right now, we want to keep the company and the customer service really great. So we want company-owned trucks for the time being. So we're going to own all the trucks. We're going to have people on the road. There are employees that will work for us. So right now we're running our pilot in Metro Detroit. We're looking to hit about 11,000 repairs this year. We're a little bit behind pace, but we will get there for 11,000. Next year our plans are to open up in Detroit, more trucks in Detroit, Indy, Columbus, Grand Rapids, and Chicago. These are with select partners that already have a good hold on the space in the area. And then, that big number, 350,000 repairs across 100 cities, that's just the dream as I have it. So right now, our margins are about $70 per repair. We see about a $20 accessory attachment as well. And we're looking at $770,000 for this year. So.
And our app just went live in January 2017 in the Metro Detroit area.
So our target growth markets, Detroit, Great Lakes region, and then hopefully nationwide. Like I said, more dreams. So talking about competition, there are a few other options out there, but none of them are truly on demand. All right. None of them are truly on demand. So you have us that you click and we come out to you. There's Cell Savers, iCrack that kind of do it. They have more of a provider-based gig economy type setup where someone's signing up for the service and they fix your device. I don't personally trust that. Someone watching a YouTube video and fixing my most treasured asset, that's not a really good experience for me. So we're gonna focus on our training and our techs to really help with customer improvement. So that's it.
All right, good stuff. Who has a question? Where can we start? All right, closest person.
How does the price compare to just going to a brick and mortar?
So we're super competitive. I mean, as far as our brick and mortar right now, our on-demand is cheaper because it costs less for us to operate. I mean, a truck costs around $2,000 a year to have, as opposed to my rent is $1,500 a month at my current brick and mortar. So we only need one employee as opposed to having multiple employees. Insurance is cheaper. The only variable is gas prices. So right now gas prices are really good. So it's but it's something a variable, and we kind of forecast against that.
This isn't so much a question as an observation, but a lot of companies have a big security issue with things like this. Like, for example, if I have a PC go down and it has to be decommissioned, we have to shred the drives. So I see a great opportunity for you to set up like maybe a mini division that exclusively handles the quick and loans, like they have all these tablets and whatever.
Right.
And when it goes down, you guys can be there to talk to people.
That's a great idea. Thank you. I appreciate that. Love to talk more after.
Is there one question over here? I saw some hands. I'll work my way around here.
So how many repairs can a truck do in a year?
So easier is for me is that we figure it like daily or weekly. So 50% is our goal to Detroit right now is 50% commission, which is 10 repairs a day. Depending on drive time and traffic, it definitely is variable. But so between 10 and 20 repairs a day. So the process, we've done a really good job like lowering the repair time, and we're focusing mostly on iPhone repairs right now. So I mean, there's a limited number of iPhones, so we can really focus on training and quick turnaround. So like I can fix an iPhone in about 7 minutes. So iPhone screen in about 7 minutes, me personally. So.
In addition to replacing screens, which seems pretty straightforward, is there anything else that you offer? Can you expand on that? Like
so,
if I drop it in water?
Yeah, so we have, so our tech trucks are fully set up like a tech station in our brick and mortar store. So we have the water damage machine, which extracts water and cleans the circuitry on the devices. We also offer battery repairs and switch outs, change charging ports, and we also offer data recovery.
So you guys kind of mentioned your initial strategy with going with the Great Lakes market, but when you guys get kind of to the dream phase, do you plan to go into more of a franchise model?
Yeah, that's the only way. Unless I found someone willing to invest $50 million, I couldn't own all the trucks. Everyone wants to own every piece of their company, but we're going to have to franchise.
Oh no, the other gentleman that was talking about what else you can do with the service. It's actually a very interesting line of thought. I wonder, can you actually form partnerships with maybe companies that develop apps and almost get people to sign up for apps as you hold their phone hostage, kind of?
Oh yeah, that's good.
I have a question. If I call you and request for a service, how long will it take for you to come to my place to offer the service?
So right now we're fixing all our devices within an hour. We hit like 1 hour 15 on a couple because of traffic. But it depends on if someone gets 5 or 6 calls in a row. Obviously it's going to slow it down. But the average time is around, and the dream is to keep it around within the hour for the repair. So it's like completely on demand. You make the call and the repair will be completed within the hour.
Would you like one more question? Stay up there.
Okay. Yeah, first. Mike, really quick. Is it are you going to be set business hours? Because the way you're describing it, EMT service is like 24 hours a day, and obviously no one's going to be working 24 hours a day. So just kind of curious about.
So I mean, in Detroit right now we're running from like 7 in the morning till 8 at night. That you can make orders. But I mean, places like where it makes sense, Vegas, New York City, Chicago, big cities, San Francisco, we could run 24/7. I mean, it just would have to make sense for the owner operator of the franchise at the time, or for me as an owner. I mean, as long as we can make money, we're getting the orders. Why not? And one thing about protection for our techs. Everything's run through credit cards. So the credit card has to match the address that you're sending us to, or the name has to match the credit card. So we're not coming into your space. We're just grabbing the device from you and working in our space. So I think it's a little bit safer than the current options that are out there right now.
Last question in the back.
And what about working with manufacturers to possibly keep warranties intact still?
Yeah, so that's one of our key strategies. So without giving up too much, I have a telecommunications background. I worked for Samsung Telecom for 5 years. So we are really looking to partner and kind of streamline the current process, because as everyone probably knows, have you been to the Apple store? Great service, but awful experience. It's long and tedious, and that's kind of the problem we're solving. I don't think that Apple will ever allow us to come in, but other smaller manufacturers might. So, and that's the goal. So,
thank you
guys.
Thank you guys so much. Okay, next up we have Ari, who's visiting us. He went to school here, but he decided to come back this summer just to give a pitch this evening. Very kind of him. Ari is here from Neuro Capital, which is Michigan's best performing blockchain asset hedge fund. Who knows what that is?
And yeah, and actually at this point, actually the world's best. Woo.
blockchain asset hedge fund and probably the top 5 hedge funds in the world.
So he's going to bring his freezer up here. Show of hands, who has heard of blockchain? Okay, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, I'll pull. Who owns any kind of coin, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or, okay. So actually, yeah, you're about pretty high here, probably about a third ownership in coins and 2/3 knowing what it is.
Interesting difference.
You know there'd be a little bit of intermission at some point here. The podcast that I had mentioned earlier, A16Z. So like, there's actually a company similar to this. It's called Polychain. That what I found so fascinating about investing in businesses in this regard is that they're not actually investing into companies. They're investing into the currency, the digital currency that these companies will hopefully that will go up in value over time. So it's a really fascinating sort of like pure investment model that doesn't require that you have some special access as a VC to get to these companies. So with that, I'll let Ari take it away.
I work in tech, but I still don't know how to use VC at all.
If I can just want to go full screen?
Yeah.
Wow, I remember my F11. All right, take it away.
All right, so this is going to be pretty casual. I haven't really worn a tie in like years, so I'm out of water here as well. But we're Neuro Capital. We are, so you mentioned Polychain Capital. We are actually kicking their ass, and we're based in Michigan and San Francisco. So Polychain Capital is known as, just like Andreessen Horowitz, sort of making a lot of noise, saying that they're great at everything. We are eating their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'll tell you, we'll get into our performance. How's this thing work?
I'll flip for you. I'm not sure if that's actually
okay. Here, you want this? You gotta put this in your laptop.
Well, that's fine. I'll stand back here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit about us. It's a standard hedge fund model represented by some of the top people in terms of legal and accounting. And then I can tell a little bit about our team. I graduated from here in 2013. Got a master's at UVA with a focus in financial engineering. Then worked at a bank, then worked at the White House, opened up the FinTech office for the United States of America. Got really into the blockchain space there when Ripple was first blowing up, and got really into the space, then moved over to the VC side, worked for the guys that funded Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Grubhub, Tinder, closed a couple deals for them, and then I was just like, I can just do this myself. Why do I need somebody else? And so my partner is actually the gregarious fundraising type. I'm sort of the heads down, get the returns type. So in terms of our returns, if anybody knows anything about the space, it's a bull market right now. So I encourage, and this is not financial advice, but I encourage anybody that wants to retire early, go buy Bitcoin, go buy Ether, go buy Ripple. It'll be the best financial decision you probably make of your entire life. So we're doing that, but we're doing it with margin. We're doing it, at some point we'll do it with futures. But our performance metrics, and these are actually out of date, our performance metrics are much higher now as of today, but these are better than anybody else in the market, and I'll get into why they are. I'll share our secret sauce, so to speak. But versus buy and hold strategies for some of the top performing coins, and some of the actual like risk adjusted returns were probably really far ahead that at this point we could stop and still probably be the best performing fund in the state of Michigan. I'll skip a lot of this, but we'll get into like what our investment strategy is, and then I'll just open up for Q&A. So there's something called the initial coin offering, which is kind of like a mini IPO. If you were thinking about investing in a Snapchat early on, you probably wouldn't have access to that because you need to be an accredited investor, have access to the right relationships, and then go fund Binary Capital or General Catalyst or one of these VC funds. With this, you can invest yourself at the pre-seed seed round. So if you really go look back at Bitcoin, it's now like one of the best investments of all time in modern human history, maybe the wheel. And if you look at Ether, if you invested $1 in Ether, you would be not in this room, you'd be retired by now. So in terms of like what we do, we use technical analysis and algorithmic trading, and if anybody has any questions about like the actual specifics of that, happy to teach anybody who has any questions or hire you if you're really good. So we do technical analysis and algorithmic trading. That's what my focus is. And I'm also a full stack engineer, so we're building this out in Detroit actually. Sentiment trading, which is really cool. Now machine learning and deep learning is turning into a very big trend, and so what we can do is take tweets and start getting positive and negative scores and start plotting them against charts of actual returns and start predicting who on Twitter is good at predicting prices and actually in some cases changing the price, which is interesting because this is completely unregulated so far. So yeah, there's a lot of market manipulation that could happen. But yeah, we have access to all this data, and over time, the goal is that we will have access to all this data that we will start opening up for anybody else to go use and start using their own strategies to see if they can beat us. And if you beat us again, we'll like to hire you in some way. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I want to take questions though on any of the specifics here or just blockchain in general. Hope to answer questions for you guys or any concerns. Awesome.
What's that mic? No, just a good view.
Are you arbitraging, or are you doing strictly ICO?
No, we're not doing strictly anything. So we have a very fluid portfolio management software. It's developed by master's students, so I'm taking a discretionary approach. But we invest in select ICOs, so there's a couple ICOs coming up, and we're actually, at this point, we're not talking to entrepreneurs before they do ICOs and helping them through the process of how to do an ICO, what to look for, how to do a white paper. And by the way, a white paper is like a glorified scientific paper or like a business plan you would have, except it's crowdfunding. So we're helping people with that. And then in terms of arbitrage, yeah, if I wanted to make like a 1% a night, I could do arbitrage across exchanges, because sometimes like in Korea, there's a premium for Ripple, because Japan, for example, just announced that close to a dozen banks are now building a private blockchain ledger, which essentially, for anybody that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, just think of like a database or like a distributed ledger, right? And anything that you have goes down into a database somewhere and is immutable. It cannot be changed by a central authority. It cannot, in practice, it's hard to break. So all the, like recently you had all these hacks happen. I mean, even at the Fed with the Bank of Bangladesh, which almost got like $1 billion or some disgusting amount of money just hacked, right? Where'd it go, right? And like, so still people, I think, are, last I checked, they're still trying to look for where the money is. With something like this, you can track it, right? So even this actually happened, $165 million got hacked from something called a distributed autonomous organization. It's like a central pool of money. And people were able to, it's called a hard fork, essentially roll back like a blockchain to make sure the money got back to where people were. Yes.
What type of people and organizations are you fundraising from that you're investing your money in?
Yeah, so why am I
Are there
here?
any rules that...
Yeah, so if you're an accredited investor, we're actually heading into our second fundraise. And so come talk to me. And if you're young and hungry and especially a person of color or a woman in tech, please come talk to us, we'll hire you, because there's like literally like everybody is, no offense, like a cis male, so it's always good to have actual diversity. So yeah, over time we're going to other hedge funds, right? So Maverick Capital, these like out there hedge funds that will sometimes invest in emerging asset classes, and so through our relationships we can get access to these people. And it's like a long process, but it's it's going pretty well.
So I have two questions. You went really fast, but I think you talked about two different things. You talked about the sentiment investing, which is separate from these ICOs and things like that. So are you scraping sites like Seeking Alpha, looking to see who the influencers are?
No, we don't do Seeking Alpha. So I can't really get into what we scrape. We scrape pretty much everything on Google, and our team. So our technical team has an exit to McKinsey and to Twitch, and then the hacker literally that's building this out with me is like probably the smartest hacker in Detroit. No offense to that guy back there. In a black shirt, yeah. In terms of like sentiment analysis, I mean, if you're interested, we can talk later, and I can talk you through some of it.
The other section is, I think, along the lines of what he was asking. So ICOs, these are people who are going to put out a new coin, and they're looking for, I guess, people who are going to take up on that. That's the kind of companies you're looking for. They have a blockchain. So what differentiates them from all the rest of the blockchains out there?
It's our investment thesis, right? Like why are some venture capitalists better than other venture capitalists? Like why are they, I would say we're better investors, and now we have the track record to prove it. It's a team. It's like, what are they actually building? Is the team legit? And they actually build what they're trying to build. There's tons of scams, as you would imagine. Right now, at this point, if you go listen to a podcast, I encourage you to go listen to it, and then probably disregard a lot of it because it is marketing material for somebody. But there are over 700 of these currencies. The market cap now is over 57 billion. It was only $1 zillion in 2013. So it's here to stay. Some people say it's a bubble. I would say those people don't know what a bubble is. But it's here to stay. This is the future. And again, if you're like truly interested in learning what the nitty-gritty of how to invest in these, happy to like get coffee or something and pretty much teach you what we know. That's why this industry is going to kill banking and finance as we know it, because people like me and much smarter than me, are very happy to help people, as opposed to traditional finance, which has silos and grasses. Last question up there.
Hi there. You mentioned that you use ML and AI to algorithms. Is that your IP or is that from like open market items? Or rather algorithms?
Yeah, so we have like an internal dashboard that we do at this point, right? So it'll feed in sentiment analysis from a bunch of things, and then what we have a track record at this point of doing is like running that against the people that we know that we have personal relationships with, and then running it against them and seeing what they think. So in a way, it's like IP, but I would say like you could probably do it. I would say I could do it better than our team would do it better than you, but you could do it. And again, like happy to like sit down with you and tell you exactly how we do what we do. But I'll also add, so like anybody can come up here and like invest in this or whatever, but our team actually predicted the price of Ether pretty much to a T. So last year when it was at $9 after the hack, I actually ended up writing an article for Benzinga, which is a Detroit publication, and predicted that the price by June of this year would be between 75 to 100. It is currently at $89.10. So, and I sold it when it was at 100. So
January 2018, what's your number?
We can talk about it later. But I actually think like no, I think it'll be at $250 to $300. But that's not financial advice. Don't sue me if you lose money on that. Ether. Yeah, it's the next Facebook.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
Super exciting presentation. Thank you, Ari. All right, the grand finale. So I'm pleased to welcome Ferris down here. Ferris has pitched at A2NewTech before. Some of you might remember him in his distinctive uniform up here. Ferris is the co-founder at Meissen Pro. Meissen Pro is the top training application used by swimmers all over the world. And they made a big announcement right at the end of the year last year. Apple actually declared that there were Apple Watch App of the Year. Kind of helps that they had a smart watch that could go underwater, but right on to these guys. We heard the last pitch in August 2016, and now they're going through a crowdfunding raise, and Ferris is going to tell us all about that. So occasionally we'll get folks that come back to NewTech for a second or third time, and we love having people back. So.
Hey everyone. Meissen Pro is the #1 fitness application for the fastest growing sport in the world. In less than 2 years, we've been able to help people in over 150 different countries achieve their personal fitness and training goals. I know I love swimming, except for the chlorine. And even with the chlorine in my veins, there's a lot of challenges that swimmers face today. To start, accessing a structured training program is extremely difficult. If you can imagine going to the gym and trying to hire a personal trainer, it's expensive, up to $100 an hour. On top of that, if you swim on your own like most people, it can get boring and monotonous. And without the right training plans or the right guidance, then achieving your goals can be a really big challenge. With Meissen Pro, from the moment you launch the application, you're just 3 taps away from unlocking a personalized workout, instructional video content, and detailed analytics so that you can track your progress and measure your improvements. We were thrilled to not only launch the world's first swimming app for the Apple Watch, but to be named by Apple as the best app of 2016. Now this watch app, redefines personal coaching on a wearable device. You can take a workout from your phone and you can sync it to the watch and it'll guide you through the workout set by set. It'll also track different biometric data like your heart rate, pace, and number of strokes you're taking. We've taken this innovation, launching the world's first Android Wear 2.0 application that also integrates with Google Fit. But even without a wearable device, we deliver an incredible experience for our athletes, and we monetize through a freemium subscription business model. It's $100 a year or $15 a month, and you unlock advanced workout content and additional analytics and functionality. We've been live with our premium for about a year. We have over 500 premium subscribers, and we've been growing this with very, very little marketing spend at 15 to 20% per month. Now, this is a massive market opportunity, and in the United States alone, over 26 million people swim for fitness, over 9 million swim more than 50 times per year, and our target market are athletes between the ages of 25 and 44 who are actively pursuing a fitness goal. So whether that's training for a triathlon, an open water competition, or in masters. Now, most of these athletes so far have come organically and through word of mouth, discovering us through our content and on social media. We have over 130,000 active social media followers and really building a brand as thought leaders within the sport of swimming. But we know that with proper funding, we can accelerate our customer acquisition through paid channels and building relationships with organizations like US Masters Swimming, which is very deep in the pipeline. So we have over 250,000 registered athletes who together have collectively logged over 180 million meters in 2016 alone. This is a look at our quarterly revenue. As you can see, we're in the middle of Q2 of 2017, and we've already booked more revenue than we did last quarter, projecting to double our quarterly revenue, which we've been able to grow by about 40% quarter over quarter since we've been driving revenue. We're also excited to share that just a month ago, we won the grand prize of $40,000 at the Michigan Greenlight Business Model Competition in East Lansing. This $40,000, sponsored by the MEDC, will go towards accelerating the business's product development and customer acquisition. Speaking of pure Michigan, all of our founders attended universities here in Michigan. We bring not only collegiate swimming experience and technical expertise, but we brought together entrepreneurs who have started, scaled, and sold mobile fitness companies to the largest sports brands in the world. Companies like Under Armour and Adidas have shelled out literally hundreds of millions of dollars to acquire the latest and greatest in sports technology companies, and there is no business positioned better than Meissen Pro to dominate the sport of swimming like we are today. And with that, I have an ask. Today, I'm inviting all of you to invest in our business. Just last month, we filed a Form C with the SEC for an open public offering. So now legally, this is allowed. Everyone in this room can become an investor for as little as $100 and invest in future equity in our business. This is something that wasn't legal 12 months ago, but today you can all be a part of our story. We're raising on a $5 million cap in a safe. We have over 30 investors who have already invested $63,000, and we have investment perks associated with this. But I ask you not to invest because of these perks, but to be a part of our story of empowering aquatic prowess across the globe and helping people all over live happier and healthier lives through swimming. Thank you.
Brings it every time. Love it. Who's got some questions for Ferris?
I can also shout my question. Why crowdfunding? Why not with that kind of growth? Why not traditional VCs?
So we have a mix of VCs and angels, and whatever you call yourself, whatever you want if you're investing $100. But we had both come into this round, and what we wanted to do was empower our user base to actually become not only users of the product, but investors of the business. So they become qualified marketing leads. So you're not only a member of our premium subscription, but you're also an investor in the business, and you're sold with us for life because you own part of the company.
Has anyone done that before? Was it successful?
So equity crowdfunding is relatively new. Of the SEC published report, it's only been live for 12 months. The average fundraise is between 100 grand to 300 grand, but online raising has been really popular with AngelList and a number of others, but that was traditionally reserved for accredited investors.
Can you talk about your revenue and how you got to the $5 million valuation and any other investment you think about?
Sure. The only other capital we've taken on is University of Michigan accelerator program. They invested 50 grand in a safe. Almost the same financial instrument that we're using for this fundraise. So the $5 million is just a cap. So it's an unpriced round, converts into equity at a future price financing. And $5 million is actually on the low end for what we're doing, raising online. If you look at like wefunder.com, which is where we're raising, most of the other companies are at 10 to 20 million valuation caps. For the Midwest, it's a little bit high actually, but like 2, 4, 6, and Silicon Valley is like 10 to 20 is more normal. So it's a cap. Throw a number in here. See what happens.
Do you have revenue?
Yeah. Excellent. Sorry. Second